Once upon a time, amidst the pulsating heart of the city, a dark and seductive energy thrived in the deepest recesses of the night. Its mistress was Emily, a young woman consumed by an insatiable hunger for the nocturnal delights found within the walls of nightclubs. The allure of vibrant lights, deafening music, and the promise of unfamiliar encounters ignited a wicked flame within her. Emily reveled in the ecstasy of mingling with strangers, tasting the forbidden fruits of the human world. One fateful night, however, the veils of fate draped themselves around Emily's path, weaving a twisted tapestry of shadows that would forever alter the course of her existence. Abandoned by her usual companions, she found herself enveloped in a cloak of solitude, a solitary figure amidst the vibrant chaos. Unperturbed, she resolved to seize the night for herself. At the dimly lit bar, her eyes met the gaze of a mysterious man. He emanated an enigmatic aura, drawing her in like a moth to a flame. Conversations flowed, laced with the flirtatious dance of possibility, and a wicked chemistry simmered between them. The man, seduced by Emily's captivating presence, offered her a drink, his intentions shrouded beneath the surface. Accepting the invitation, Emily imbibed the elixir of transgression, unaware of the sinister tendrils that twisted within its depths. Each sip, tinged with a devilish spell, dulled her senses, leaving her vulnerable to the web of deceit that had been spun around her. In her intoxicated state, the stranger's offer to escort her home seemed benign, an act of chivalry amidst the maelstrom of the night. As they embarked on the journey to his abode, Emily's body became a marionette, clumsily swaying to the rhythm of her own inebriation. Her laughter echoed through the empty streets, a disconcerting symphony of vulnerability and chaos. But the veil of drunken stupor was but a ruse, a cunning disguise for the wicked secret she concealed. Once they crossed the threshold of his lair, a metamorphosis overcame Emily. Her laughter waned, replaced by a predatory hunger that gnawed at the very core of her being. Her eyes, once filled with playful mischief, transformed into orbs of eternal darkness, reflecting the abyss that consumed her soul. She unveiled her true nature, an incarnation of the night's most wicked creatures, a vampire. The man, gripped by fear, recoiled in terror as the truth unfolded before his horrified gaze. He realized he had been ensnared in the sanguinary grasp of his imminent demise. But in that moment of realization, it was too late. Emily's fangs, gleaming like polished obsidian, sank into his flesh, initiating the morbid communion that bound them. She drank deep, her thirst for life's crimson elixir insatiable. The man's vitality ebbed away, his life force extinguished like a flickering candle swallowed by an encroaching darkness. When the last vestiges of life had been drained from her victim, Emily relinquished her grip on his lifeless body. A bittersweet euphoria surged through her veins, mingling with the warmth of stolen life force. In the wake of her insidious act, she slipped into the night, a phantom vanishing into the velvety embrace of shadows, leaving behind a life extinguished. From that night forward, Emily became a harbinger of doom for those unfortunate souls who dared to tread upon her nocturnal domain. Whispers circulated among the patrons of the club, tales of her malevolent presence, a specter of darkness cloaked in allure. Beware, they cautioned, for to lay eyes upon her lurking figure in the depths of the shadows was to be consigned to a grisly fate. Emily, the emissary of evil, remained on the prowl, her thirst unquenchable, her hunger insatiable. The city became a feeding ground, a macabre stage where the symphony of nightmarish delights played out. Her victims, unaware of the abyss that lurked beneath her alluring facade, met their untimely demise at her hands. Their lives, extinguished with each puncture of her wicked fangs, dissolved into the ether, leaving only whispers and lingering echoes in their wake. No one knew what twisted pact had transformed Emily into a creature of the night. Some whispered tales of ancient curses, while others speculated on a divine punishment bestowed upon a wayward soul. The truth, shrouded in the folds of the unknown, remained hidden in the depths of her blackened heart. And so, the dance of darkness continued, the nightclub serving as a macabre theater of bloodshed and despair. Within its hallowed halls, unsuspecting souls embraced the facade of revelry, oblivious to the predatory specter that haunted their every step. Emily, a tempest of malevolence, reveled in her unholy existence, her nocturnal escapades an eternal reminder of the seductive allure and unimaginable horrors that could be found within the embrace of the night. Once upon a time, in the dead of night, a group of friends from Dudsville, a forgotten corner of Maine, decided to celebrate their friend's birthday at a brand new nightclub that had recently sprung up on the outskirts of town. Whispers and rumors about the place had been spreading like wildfire, igniting the curiosity of the townsfolk. They spoke of the club's mesmerizing allure, its promises of an unforgettable night filled with pulsating music and ecstatic revelry. Little did the group know that their innocent pursuit of mirth would plunge them into a harrowing descent into the abyss of terror and despair. As they approached the nightclub's imposing doors, the sound of pounding music and dazzling lights cascaded through the air, beckoning them inside. With anticipation gleaming in their eyes, they stepped over the threshold and into a world unlike any they had ever known. The air was thick with a heady mix of excitement and trepidation as they navigated their way through the pulsating crowd. The night began innocently enough. The group of friends danced, laughed, and reveled in the vibrant atmosphere. But as the hours melted away and the moon crept higher in the sky, the once vibrant scene took on an eerie and unsettling aura. Strange glances were exchanged among the partygoers, as if they were privy to some terrible secret. It started with whispers, soft and barely audible, drifting through the air like a sinister undertone to the pounding bass. People vanished from the dance floor, swallowed by the crowd, never to be seen again. Panic flickered in the eyes of those left behind, but they dared not voice their fears, clinging to the faint hope that it was all a macabre illusion, a trick of their fevered imaginations. But as the clock struck 3 a.m., an unholy silence descended upon the nightclub. The music abruptly ceased, the lights dimmed to a sanguine crimson, and the once celebratory atmosphere transformed into a foreboding mausoleum. The walls seemed to close in, trapping the friends within the suffocating confines of the club. Panic surged through their veins, a primal instinct urging them to flee, to escape the clutches of this unholy place. It was then that they glimpsed the truth lurking beneath the veil of revelry. The club was a haven for creatures of the night, a sanctuary for a pack of insatiable, bloodthirsty werewolves. The very people they had danced and laughed with, the ones they had dismissed as harmless partygoers, were now savage beasts, hungering for the taste of human flesh. Terrified screams rent the air as the friends found themselves trapped in a deadly game of survival. They darted through the labyrinthine corridors, their hearts pounding in their chests, their desperate pleas for salvation swallowed by the darkened halls. Each corner turned revealed another horrifying tableau, a gruesome feast of carnage and savagery. One by one, the friends were hunted down, their cries of agony swallowed by the insatiable hunger of their relentless pursuers. The once vibrant nightclub became a charnel house, a symphony of terror and despair. Their futile attempts at escape only served to seal their fate, their every hope dashed against the cold, unyielding walls of their prison. When the sun finally clawed its way above the horizon, its golden rays casting long shadows over the lifeless nightclub, the authorities were called in. But to their bewilderment, they found no trace of the establishment that had brought ruin to those who dared enter its doors. It was as if the club had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the lingering stench of death and a harrowing void of unanswered questions. Dudsville would never forget the tragedy that had befallen its lost souls. Whispers carried through the wind, tales spun from half-remembered nightmares, warning future generations to heed the perils of the unknown. To this day, the ghostly echoes of the friends' cries can be heard on moonlit nights, as they roam the deserted streets of Dudsville, eternally trapped in a haunting requiem, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lie concealed beneath the thin veneer of the everyday world.
I hope you enjoy the content I upload. If you like what I'm doing, why not think about clicking on the subscribe button to keep up to date on my uploads. Thank you all for the great support.
Deep in the heart of the city, there lived 5 friends whose obsession with the macabre led them down a path of darkness. Legends swirled around the desolate ruins of the Inferno, an abandoned nightclub that had once been a fiery sanctuary of hedonism and decadence. Whispered tales recounted its untimely demise, a cataclysmic inferno that consumed the building, shrouding it in eternal damnation. Undeterred by the sinister reputation of the place, the friends embarked on a fateful journey. The night air was heavy with foreboding as they approached the charred remnants of the nightclub. The broken glass crunched beneath their feet, echoing like the screams of tormented souls. The acrid stench of smoke and ash clawed its way into their lungs, suffocating their senses. A disorienting fog hung in the air, as if concealing the dark secrets that lingered within. The walls, once adorned with vibrant hues, now stood blackened and disfigured, an indelible mark of the Inferno's wrath. Venturing further into the bowels of the desecrated structure, their hearts raced with anticipation and trepidation. Their flashlights cast eerie shadows on the decaying walls, playing tricks with their minds. Whispers of spectral apparitions seemed to taunt them from the darkness, driving their imaginations to the brink of madness. Suddenly, their footsteps faltered, their hearts skipping beats. There, before them, lay a body, mangled and charred, the remnants of a tragic victim. The air grew thick with an otherworldly chill, and a gut-wrenching fear consumed their souls. But as they watched in disbelief, the body twitched, a grotesque dance of agony. Paralyzed by a combination of dread and morbid curiosity, the friends witnessed the impossible, a resurrection of horror before their very eyes. The burnt figure rose, its existence defying the laws of nature, blocking their only means of escape. Trapped within the nightmarish confines of the inferno, their fight for survival had only just begun. Desperation fueled their futile attempts to find an alternative route, but every exit revealed itself to be a mocking mirage. Echoes of tormented cries reverberated through the desolate corridors, each sound a chilling reminder of their impending doom. Then, darkness descended upon them like a shroud, the flickering lights casting sinister shadows that danced malevolently. A distant melody, a haunting dirge, crept into their ears. Mesmerized, they followed the eerie tune, their steps guided by an unseen force. The dance floor emerged before them, a barren wasteland of memories lost to time. Amidst the rubble and ruin, the burnt body emerged, moving with an ethereal grace. Its charred flesh seemed to writhe and pulse, as if imbued with a demonic energy. In a frenzy of desperation, the friends made a mad dash towards the exit, their hearts pounding in their chests. But the burnt figure, now possessed by an ancient evil, stepped into their path, its eyes blazing with a malevolent fire. Words of an unholy tongue spilled from its lips, a curse that summoned forth flames from the very depths of hell. The room erupted in a conflagration of torment, fiery tendrils engulfing the friends, ensnaring them in a hellish embrace. Their agonized screams mingled with the crackling of flames, a symphony of terror. The world around them dissolved into an infernal abyss, as they became one with the damned souls that forever haunted the inferno. And so, their story faded into the annals of darkness, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. The burnt body, an eternal sentinel, continues its mournful dance through the charred remnants of the nightclub, a specter forever bound to the cycle of damnation. Brave souls who dare venture into its forsaken halls risk becoming permanent residents of the unholy inferno that dwells within.